Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. So excited to be with you and share the news with you, people. I have some great news for you, actually, followed by some concerning news. We'll talk about this as we go through. I mean, this is coming out of Pennsylvania, Missouri, and Texas. I have some wild news. So do me a favor, though, smash that like button. Do chat in with where you're from. Let's see who's on this stream. William, good to see you on. Yeller, good to see you on. All y'all. So look, I got to mention my sponsor really quick too, folks. You know, Verity Metals. Matt was on the show the other day. Great guy. 480-717-9081. VerityMetals.com for all your gold and silver needs. You guys know I'm a believer in this stuff. I believe it's a great store of value when the dollar crashes. Don't think, and I do want to just mention this really quickly. Don't think that just because Donald Trump gets elected that all the economic problems will go away immediately. They won't. Our stock market is so overvalued right now. So what eventually happens to things that are overvalued? They become less valuable. I just want you to be prepared. I mean, we have been in 3 quarters of economic contraction. Okay. Our last job reports was 19,000. 19,000. It was probably inflated because they inflate every jobs report in the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden regime. So anyways, folks, just wanted to get that out. I'm going to just I want to share this Tucker video real quick. That's 2 minutes, but I'm going to actually get into this bit of news really fast. I'm going to get into some just bomber. This is just great news, folks. So I'm going to add this to the stage. Look at this. This was last night's final numbers. The very last vote by mail drop from Pennsylvania before Election Day. 2,000. This is a disaster for the Democrats, folks. 2,411 votes. I'm not kidding you. This was their final vote by mail number to show you just how bad that is, people. Here's what it is. Total votes counted, vote by mail, advantage Trump by 18.46%. This is vote by mail, people. Okay? Look at this. The Democrats, so they got 1 million. It is 29.36% of 2020 Biden votes, and it's 66.8%. They are down over 30% on their early voting. Republicans are up 108%. And look at this number, people. Okay. It's 17.86% of the Trump. Oh, it's a disaster, folks. This is an absolute disaster for the Democrats. So what are they doing? People? What do you think the Democrats are doing? What do you think the machine is doing in Pennsylvania right now? And this will I don't want to send you over the edge here, but no, not that one. Here we go. Report out of Martinsburg, Pennsylvania at 7:06, and the election official came outside and said this voting area has the wrong tabulators and the wrong ballots for this location. So the most important election of our lifetimes, and we got the wrong stuff here, folks. I mean, the wrong tabulators, the wrong ballots. I mean, why do we have these stupid machines in our elections? We need to go back to paper ballots, hand counted, election day. Okay. Election day in precincts, small precincts. Do you know why Maricopa County sucks so bad, folks? Because they have what's called a vote center and print on demand ballots. Can you imagine having to rely on the ballots being printed election day? This stuff is so stupid. It's beyond the pale just how dumb it is. Unless, folks, it's not that dumb because you're setting things up for failure. Okay, here, I'll give you another one. Not that one. That one's awesome. Pennsylvania election integrity. Look at this. It's a new day in the Republican Party, folks. It is a new day in terms of election integrity. Ronna Romney McDaniel is not there. And I seriously want to thank my audience right now. I know so many of you reached out to the RNC when I did all those videos on Ronna. And you guys reached out and contacted them, said, I will not give another dime until this lady is gone. Okay. And so here we have Michael Watley. Early this morning, we learned that Republican poll watchers in Philadelphia, York, Westmoreland, Allegheny, Lake, Cambria, Wyoming, and Lackawanna counties were being turned away. We deployed our roving attorneys, engaged with local officials, and can now report that Republican poll watchers have been let into the building. So, people, this is another big one. Remember the pizza boxes over the windows? Remember how they got Republican poll watchers kicked out of locations? Well, not this time around, okay? But again, I'm not saying all is right in Pennsylvania. Okay, there's plenty going on there. Okay, look at this in Oklahoma City, New Covenant Christian Church. This is a polling place. This is called electioneering. This is electioneering, and it's at a church. I mean, honestly, this crap is at a church. First off, that's wrong in and of itself. But then on top of that, it's a polling place. So this is electioneering. I tell you what, man, these people are unbelievable. Here, you guys want another big win, though? Let me give you this. Out of Texas, the U.S. Department of Justice agreed last night not to enter Texas polling in central cult locations or otherwise interfere with the administration of Texas elections just hours after Attorney General Ken Paxton sued the DOJ. I love Ken Paxton. If every Republican Attorney General had the chutzpah of Ken Paxton, we would be winning everywhere, okay? Over its announcement that it would send federal agents to monitor Texas locations. I wonder where they were going to send those monitors. Was it Harris County? Marissa would probably know. She's been covering Harris County, Texas like nobody else. Texans run Texas elections, and we will not be bullied by the Department of Justice. The DOJ knows it has no authority to monitor Texas elections and back down when Texas stood up for the rule of law. And that's what the states need to do. You just need to stand up. The federal government is just it's like a paper tiger, okay? The states stand up to them. Remember when Texas said, look, we're going to enforce our own border and sent their own guard troops down there to Eagles Pass and so on. And I know some of it was for show and everything, but it did. Biden went out and said, "Oh, they better back off, or it's like, there's going to be civil war kind of talk." And what did they do? The federal government backed off. There was no way they could keep going. So, anyways, this is a big win out of the state of Texas. Again, smash that like button. Do chat in with where you're from. Look at this. I'm going to just. Who is on their way to vote this morning? Let's see who in the chat is on their way to vote. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video, folks. Watch this. We'll talk a little bit more about Pennsylvania and everything. I've got some other stuff on Pennsylvania, but I want you, and also I've got something big on Missouri. In fact, here, I'm just going to pull this in right now. We'll cover this real quick. Some of you have probably seen this. Let me pull this out real quick so I can just hold up my phone and show you. But I got a text from somebody, and they sent me this. This was a screenshot. So this is in Missouri. The ballot with Kamala Harris's name, Tim Walz's name, has a little dot on it. Okay. Well, that could obviously throw the machines. And here's what's interesting. Okay. So he said, my daughter sent me this with 15 people saying the same thing in Missouri. So this is not fake news. This is actually happening in Missouri. And do you know what I find fascinating? One of the states that the federal government deployed election monitors from the DOJ to was, guess which state? What the hell's going on in Missouri? That's a bastion of conservatism. They honestly think that they're going to steal Missouri? Good night. I mean, what are they worried too much? Like we've got too many eyes on the swing states, so now they're going to try to go after Missouri? Anyways, somebody already voted. Missouri ain't going for Harris, folks. Let's see what else we got here. Montana, voting with my husband, voting Trump. 999th like. Well, let's get it well over 1,000, folks. Smash that like if you would. All right. Texas on Pennsylvania, they voted. So on. All right. Now, folks, again, the early vote numbers, the vote by mail numbers out of Pennsylvania are colossal. It is a catastrophe for the Dems. I shared that just a little bit ago, but I want you to watch this video. This was years ago, back during the 2020 election, just before the 2020 election. I heard the best monologue Tucker ever gave, and I'll never forget it. I played it for you guys a couple times in the past because he was talking about the forgotten Americans, and he was talking about Butler. Well, I'm going to share. Somebody took and put a video to that monologue. It's powerful. So watch this. And while that's going on, I will pull in comments of people who are on their way to vote as the video plays.
Millions of Americans sincerely love Donald Trump. They love him in spite of everything they've heard. They love him often in spite of himself. They love Donald Trump because no one else loves them. The country they built, the country their ancestors fought for over hundreds of years, has left them to die in their unfashionable little towns, mocked and despised by the sneering half-wits with finance degrees but no actual skills who seem to run everything all of a sudden. Whatever Donald Trump's faults, he is better than the rest of the people in charge. At least he doesn't hate them for their weakness. Donald Trump, in other words, is and has always been a living indictment of the people who run this country. That was true 4 years ago when Trump came out of nowhere to win the presidency, and it's every bit as true right now. Trump rose because they failed. It's as simple as that. If the people in charge had done a halfway decent job with the country they inherited, if they'd cared about anything other than themselves, even for just a moment, Donald Trump would still be hosting Celebrity Apprentice. But they didn't. Instead, they were incompetent and narcissistic and cruel and relentlessly dishonest. They wrecked what they didn't build. They lied about it. They hurt anyone who told the truth about what they were doing. That's true. We watched. America is still a great country, the best in the world, but our ruling class is disgusting.
Amen.
A vote for Trump is a vote against them. That's what's going on in this country.
Folks, that is exactly what's going on in this country. Okay. Trump has stepped up and said, you are not forgotten anymore. That's exactly what's going on in this country. 100%. Got to do another quick sponsor mention here. MyPillow, mypillow.com. Use promo code Lumberjack. Save up to 66% or call 1-800-568-2865. Free shipping on orders over $75. And the free Steve pillow is still there. No purchase necessary. You can just go get yourself a free pillow. All you do is pay shipping and handling. And if you're getting a pillow, I always say call the 800 number, 1-800-568-2865. You help employ people who work from home. And Mike just hired 50 more of those. So that's a big thing. Also, folks, I'm going to pull in something else here. Where is it? You guys want to see this? This is what's on the line. Okay. We'll get back to Pennsylvania, but you need to understand fully what is on the line here, what the actual considerations are. All right. This is not a joke. This actually happened.
So I have a question. Are you also a lawyer?
Yeah. I am.
So you could conceivably be a great AG. If this was...
Can you guys just imagine the horror of this? You don't think Kamala Harris would do it?
And I say this because your moral core is magnificent.
Ooh, baby. That moral core.
I know you probably don't want it. You don't want to think about it. But I just feel like I would feel a lot better with you leading the FBI, the CIA, the NBC, the everybody. That's just me. So I'm just saying, should it be floated? Please think about it.
And under the radar, we have to get Vice President Harris elected.
Well, you know, I'm being.
You're putting it out there in the universe.
I'm putting it in the universe.
Manifest.
Because that's how we do things.
Putting it in the universe, folks. They're putting it in the universe because Lord only knows that would be just fantastic. Okay. Again, folks, there's problems out in Pennsylvania, but understand this, the early vote by mail numbers were so cataclysmic for the Democrats. I want to pull this in again, just so people understand just how different this is this year. Their last day, their total 2,411 votes. That's what they ended up with. This is like opening polling places in Georgia, Fulton County, breaking the law to get 14, 16, 13 votes because that's what was coming in. I mean, on first day, then it ended up, Heather was down there again. They had 40 some and so on. That's huge. And also understand that they cannot count votes in Georgia because of that court decision that just came out after the deadline. Okay. That's another big win. Look here. This is what's going on in Pennsylvania. Early voting statistics. Again, 1.832 million total votes counted, vote by mail, advantage Trump by 18.46%. The breakdown on this, there is more Democrats than Republicans, but here's what you need to understand about that. Only 66.87% of the 2020 early Democrat votes. Republicans are at 108%, and they only have 17.86% of the 2020 Trump votes in. Democrats have almost 30% of the Biden votes, and they're suppressed. They are not excited. Otherwise, they would have all their vote by mail done. You guys get this? I want to in the chat. Does everybody understand what I'm trying to tell you here with these numbers and how big this is? I love somebody's comment here. Something Wong. Today is election interference day. That's right. And we're seeing that taking place throughout Pennsylvania right now. But interestingly enough, people are holding in line. Do you know what else is the big thing? I don't know if you guys have seen all the videos coming out on X and TikTok and so on with women telling men to save America and to get out and vote. But that's what's taking place right now. I've seen multiple videos of this, of women saying, men, rise up, please save America. You need to get out and vote. And do you know who's in line today? I've looked at the pictures of the lines. I've read all the comments of the people in the lines. Do you know who's showing up and voting today in massive numbers? Come on, folks in the chat. Just take a guess. Who's showing up in massive numbers to vote today? Is it single cat ladies? No, folks, they already voted by mail. Is it, urban areas full of Democrats? No, somebody got it, folks. This is what's coming up. Men. Okay. Our wonderful men, some lady wrote. Young men. Folks, I was at Duluth, Minnesota yesterday. Okay. I was at Duluth, Minnesota. If you guys don't know Minnesota, Duluth is like, so when you look at Minnesota, the reason Minnesota goes blue, supposedly, is because of two areas, really. Okay. Duluth, okay, which is the big city in northeastern Minnesota. It's a port city. And then down in the Minneapolis area, Hennepin, Ramsey counties, okay? That's where the blue areas in our state. Sometimes Rochester will go blue. St. Cloud doesn't typically go blue. Those are kind of our major cities in Minnesota. Mankato goes reliably red. But here's the thing. In Duluth, Minnesota, I went to vote yesterday with my daughter, who's got dyed red hair. Everybody thinks she's voting for Joe Biden, and she was totally Trump all the way. But here's what you need to understand. In deep blue, Duluth, Minnesota, I went there, and the majority of people in line were men. And what's interesting about this is you need to understand when I go to vote at the courthouse in Duluth, so I'm in a mail-in only district, okay? So when I go to vote at the courthouse in Duluth, it's only people from the outlying areas. And I asked the election clerk there, I said, is this kind of busy or about normal? He said, no, we're really busy. So the people from the outlying areas around Duluth were showing up in mass, many of them men, and I'm telling you, they were voting Trump. I did see one, folks, I almost had to say something, but I'm in line. This is not a joke. I mean, you're going to think it's a joke, but it's not. I'm totally serious about this. I'm in line, and the lady behind me is a little bit older, and guess what she's got? She was wearing a mask, people. COVID's over, baby. She had a mask on. And I wanted to say to her, I wanted to go like, are you voting for it? I wasn't going to do electioneering, though I know I'm not supposed to. But it did not seem in any way, shape, or form that she was a Donald Trump voter. Hey, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We have fun over here. Let me see. I got to bring you up another one. I'm going to bring you up. So we've got these problems going on over there. Okay, here we go. If you guys didn't know, so a couple major endorsements happened yesterday. The New Hampshire Libertarian Party. Libertarians can't agree on anything, people. Guess what they did? They endorsed Donald Trump. You have in New Jersey and New York, the Orthodox Jewish community coming out in mass for Donald Trump. I've looked at the lines in some of those videos. But watch this. Then one of the single biggest things that happened yesterday was Joe Rogan endorsed Trump. Do you know who watches Joe Rogan's podcast? I like his biggest audience? Men. And now they got to get totally, completely red pilled. Okay. Oh, I don't want that one yet. I want this one. Okay. Now watch this. This is huge.
So no, I think we're very much a fork in the road in destiny. I mean, the reason I did the Twitter acquisition was like, it's like, man, if I don't do this, I think we're screwed is the issue.
Well, if you didn't do it, no one else was going to do it because it wasn't a financial winner. It was kind of a crazy move.
It's a crazy move. I mean, the thing was way overpriced. Like long term, I think we can ultimately make it a win for investors. But boy, this is a hard way to make a living.
Well, there's also a concerted effort to suppress it. There's a concerted effort with the advertisers.
Well, we had I still have a massive advertiser boycott that was organized by a bunch of left-wing NGOs.
If you didn't do it, no one would have. And here's the hilarious narrative that I keep hearing from idiots. Elon's a bad businessman. Twitter is worth, 400% less than when he bought it. No, what?
No, see, and listen to this point. I'll beep him here. I got kids watching.
Worth that in the first place.
It wasn't worth that in the first place.
It wasn't worth $44 billion, you fucking morons. Wrong. And also, you're not taking into account the advertiser boycott.
Exactly.
That's total bullshit.
Total and complete, folks. Now, here's the deal. If Elon Musk hadn't bought X, who was going to do it? And, I had early on, a lot of people were like, I don't trust Elon, this, that, and the other. You know what? Elon Musk has, oh my gosh, if there's anybody, I mean, like, he has put it all on the line. Do you understand that he is actually a U.S. government contractor with the highest security clearances? And that his company relies. I mean, look, he has to go rescue the astronauts in space because Boeing's crap with NASA, which is an unfair contract that they're giving to Boeing simply because Boeing aligns with these leftards, and Elon's a free speech guy. So what happens is he is putting it all on the line. He is literally losing business over this. Do you guys get this? So I don't know who's out there. Oh, I just still don't trust Elon. Just shut up. I can't with these people anymore, okay? Elon Musk has put it all on the line in his support of Donald Trump. But Elon Musk shared this, and I don't know how many of you watched this. He says, watch the whole thing, man. Great speech by Megyn Kelly, okay? So I don't know how many of you saw this, but this was at the Trump rally yesterday, and I'm going to actually add this to the stage and let you guys watch this real quick.
Megyn Kelly is here. And she's doing, come on.
And I want you guys to think about Megyn Kelly was not always a Trump fan. A lot of these people weren't. But you know what Trump did? And this is what's so important, people. This is what's so important about this time in history. Trump exposed them. He ripped the Band-Aid off. Okay. There was all this kind of nice, kind of like in Minnesota. We call it Minnesota passive aggressive. Okay. It's not Minnesota nice. And this is what happened. Trump ripped the Band-Aid off, and all these people who didn't like Trump have now come around because they've seen the real evil, which is this deep state apparatus in our government. Watch this.
Come up here, Megyn. She ripped the guy apart.
Hi, everybody. Hey, it's great to see you. Can you believe this guy? Can you believe the energy and the stamina on this guy and his hate? I'm ready to go to sleep over there. He's got another rally to go to till tonight. Let me tell you, first of all, one of the reasons why I wanted to come here, one of the many reasons I wanted to come here. When I launched my show 4 years ago, we had Mark Cuban on the program. Yeah. May have seen he was in the news this week. And he's
okay, really funny. Just outside of Duluth, Minnesota, my daughter pointed this out. I had no idea they had a Harris Wall sign, but an even bigger Mark Cuban sign. I can't believe this, people.
Started going on about how bad America's race history was and how ashamed he was of America, and that's why he was at all these protests, and he felt it was really important to stand up and speak out about human rights violations. And then it got awkward when I asked him about all the money he was taking from China. Then he dropped a bunch of F-bombs, and I thought, I really enjoy this feeling of proving Mark Cuban wrong. And so here I am, at a Trump rally, a strong, intelligent woman who proved Mark Cuban wrong again. I won't take up much of your time, but I do want to tell you the main reasons I am voting for Donald Trump. Number one, immigration. He mentioned it. And people like Laken Riley. I'll be thinking about her tomorrow all day. 22 years old, killed in Georgia, a young nursing student by an illegal. I'll be thinking about Jocelyn Nungare, 12 years old, in Texas, murdered by 2 Venezuelan illegals. President Trump closed the border. Kamala Harris opened it by choice. It wasn't accidental. She said it would be humane. That's what she and her boss believed. Tell it to Laken Riley's family.
Amen.
There was nothing humane about it. He closed it. They opened it. It was an intentional choice, and there's no reason not to believe they won't do it again. The boys should not be in the girls' sports.
Amen.
The boys should not be in the girls' bathrooms. The boys should not be in the girls' locker rooms.
Quick question. I'm really serious about this. In the chat, how many of you have girls, and how many of you this is a motivating factor to get you out to vote? This is one of the places where I think the Dems really lost it and actually lost a lot of Democrats.
Peyton McNabb, North Carolina sophomore in high school, slammed so hard in the face by a volleyball hit at her by a boy pretending to be a girl.
Yes.
She suffered traumatic brain injury and permanent paralysis. Kamala Harris looks at her and says, be kind, suck it up. And that's what's right. Why do our girls have to face brain damage in order to be kind to boys who want to invade their sports? And by the way, they are going into the women's prisons. She changed the law in California to make sure the taxpayers would pay for their sex change operations.
Yep.
She was not just following the law, she changed the law. President Trump will stop it. He got mocked by the left for saying he would be a protector of women. He will be a protector of women, and it's why I'm voting for him. He will close the border. He will keep the boys out of girls' sports and where they don't belong. And you know what else? One more thing.
This is big. Listen to this.
He will look out for our boys, too.
Amen.
Our forgotten boys and our forgotten men. Guys like you. Guys like these guys who've got the calluses on their hands,
Amen.
who work for a living with the beards and the tats, who maybe have a beer after work and don't want to be judged by people like Oprah and Beyonce, who will never have to face the consequences of her disastrous economic policies. These guys will. He gets it. President Trump gets it. He will not look at our boys like they're second-class citizens. And ladies out there who want a bit of girl power in this election, let me tell you something. How can you win when the sons and the husbands and the brothers and the dads you love are losing? It's not a win. We care, young women and older, about the lives of our children, the safety of our children. And we need not get so obsessed with what happens when they're in the womb that we forget about taking care of them once we're here and they're loved. Last point, what I don't want, what I don't think you want, is the left's version of masculinity.
Amen.
You see that ad they did about Trump voters trying to encourage women to lie to their husbands so that they could vote for her instead of Trump? That's their version of what marriage looks like. An overbearing husband who bullies his wife into saying she voted one way as opposed to an honest, open relationship. Oh, wait, I'm talking about Kamala and Doug. Sorry.
Oh, man, I'm telling you what, folks, she lit it up at the rally. She did a great job. Again, if you just joined the stream, I want to get this out to you really quick. Let me go here. This is the vote by mail numbers that just came in yesterday for the Democrats. This is final day vote by mail. They netted 2,411 votes, just to show you how abysmal that is, folks. We are advantaged Trump 18.46% in Pennsylvania right now. As a result of that, they're doing all these things like this. Okay, we have out of Martinsburg, 706 election official came outside and said this voting area has the wrong tabulators and the wrong ballots. I mean, what on earth? Are you serious? This can't even be. But yet it is. But they are, the Republican Party, the RNC is actually on top of things this year. This is not the Rona Romney McDaniel Republican Party. Okay, so they are in it just like they did down in Georgia to get monitors in at those ballot drop boxes. That never should have happened anyways, because that was totally against the law to count after the whole thing had been done. The other thing I wanted to show you, where is this tab? I got so many tabs open, folks, because this is just wild to watch what's going on here. I'm going to show you, where did it go? Here, this is that Department of Justice. Here, I'll go to Scott Pressler. I'm going to show you. He's got some good stuff coming out right now. All right. Okay, so they're right here. Okay, Cambria County. This is the one I want to. Republicans have already run out of sample ballots. This is Butler County, Pennsylvania. Okay, this is 7 minutes ago. Hold on. Let's listen to what Scott has to say.
Turnout has been. Hey, everybody, this is Scott Pressler. I'm here at the Cranberry Township polling location. Well, the good news is that they have run out of Republican sample ballots, and we have people bringing more to us already. The turnout has been great here in Butler County. And in this county, that it's 2-1 Republican over Democrat, that big sky-high turnout portends trouble for the Democrats. So please continue to vote. I don't care if you're in Pike, Wayne, Erie, Allegheny, Philadelphia. You vote in all 67, and you elect Donald J. Trump and give us Dave McCormick to the United States Senate. Let's go.
All right, folks. This is big, too. I want to make something he said there. Get Dave McCormick in the United States Senate. Do not just vote top a ticket. I talked to my son. So this is the thing. This is when you raise your kids as conservatives and they're actually politically engaged. He's talking with a coworker the other day, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I'll go vote for Trump." He goes, "Guess, man." And then he talked to him a little bit more about it. And like, "Yeah, no, I'll go vote for Trump. I don't know what to do with these other races, though. I think I'll just vote for Trump." My son educated him on, what happens, how you appoint justices to the Supreme Court, how you get your legislation through, all of it. And he's like, "Man, you have got to vote a Republican ticket so Donald Trump actually has the ability to do the things you want him to do." I mean, so if you're out there, for Pete's sakes, people, I know Trump's an exciting candidate. Man, we all love him. Okay. I wrote an X post yesterday. I'll read this to you real quick because I think it defines for me anyways, one of the reasons I'm so excited about Donald Trump. But he has got to have the ability to do things, and he can't do that without having the people in there. Okay, so here it is. Here's I wrote this yesterday. I think a lot of you guys will resonate with this. Then I've got another really important video to show you. Okay, it's election day. It's the third and final time I get to vote for Trump. What a ride our country has been on. We were told he was a Russian asset. Now we're told he's Hitler. He's none of the things we were told. He's a true patriot, and I've grown to love the man. I even love his faults, which when we love anyone, we must love them wholly. I started my journey opposed to Trump. I didn't think he could win, and I didn't think he was my candidate. Maybe I listened to too many establishment hacks, but when the general election came, he got my vote, and it was the best vote I ever cast. I'll never forget election night in 2016 and watching the meltdown on the liberal media. It was absolutely epic. He was the first politician I got to vote for that actually did what he said he was going to do. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He picked his SCOTUS justices from the published list. He took on China. The list goes on. The second time I voted for him, I would have walked over broken glass. Then I saw the counting stop and the mathematical impossibilities. Now he's up for his third election, and I've never felt more strongly about a candidate in all my life. There is a deep state. Who do you think is running the government? Joe doesn't have the presence, and Kamala doesn't have the ability. When Trump wins, the globalists lose. Judge Trump by those who hate him. There were 51 intelligence officers, I use that term loosely, who lied to us about Hunter Biden's laptop to stay in power. There are those in the media who created more hoaxes than I can remember. These people do not want to give up their power, and Trump is the one thing that stands in their way. Trump has to win. He is the protagonist of one of the greatest stories of all time. They stole it from him once. We simply cannot let them steal it again. Okay? I firmly believe that. All right, now I want to show you this. Oh, here. Look at this, folks. Libs of TikTok posted this. These are all the people who are no longer with us due to illegal aliens, okay, who have invaded our country, who are unvetted. We have no problem with immigration. Okay, this is absolutely one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I should share this. Actually, no, I can't because I'll get copyrighted on YouTube for it. Okay, but I am going to show you this video, okay? Now, watch this. This lady explains this so well.
So sinister, like sinister. Moment we do face a real question. What kind of country do we want to live in? That's before us right now. Kamala Harris is literally in a church filled with Christians asking this question, knowing good and well that she just imprisoned someone named Bevelyn Betty for literally being a Christian, praying in front of an abortion clinic, and she's asking Christians. She's asking Christians, what type of America do you want to live in? How on earth can we as believers skate over the fact that this woman imprisoned a Christian for being a Christian? You put her on a pulpit to preach a message, not knowing what she has in store for you as a Christian. But I want to point you to something else that she said that I also thought was sinister. Yet I agree. Joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way. As in grief, as in death, as in loss, as in sorrow and sadness. May we vote according to the fear of the Lord and not our own thoughts, opinions, and ideas, not according to melanin in someone's skin. This woman is wicked, and God is in fact calling out. Wisdom is crying out in the public right now. For many of
I loved everything this lady said, and it is so true. It is so absolutely true. Folks, I reposted.
This is so sinister.
That's on X. I reposted that, but actually I can't show this because it's I'll show you. But I encourage you to go to my X account and watch this. I'll get, YouTube probably take down the video because of copyright, because this is out of a movie. Some of you have probably seen it about Hitler, but the funniest line he goes on about how he'll be shoving MAGA so far up we'll be crapping red hats. I mean, you guys got to watch this. I mean, the whole thing is hilarious. I'm just my Twitter handle is at Neil NEILE Johnson, but go over there, watch that, and share that around, because I mean, you will absolutely fall out of your chair laughing. I just wanted to really cover that stuff on Pennsylvania. Again, please go check out my sponsors, Verity Metals and My Pillow. So yeah, the phone number is here. You go, Verity Metals. Call Matt. He's the owner. 480-717-9081. If you want to go check them out online, it's veritymetals.com. And then Mike Lindell, who's done so much in the fight. Please go support him. Company was almost lost this year, but you can save up to 66%. Or you can call them at 1-800-568-2865. There is the free Steve pillow. It's absolutely free. You just pay shipping and handling. Just go over there and get yourself one. Thanks for joining me. I will be doing election night coverage tonight. If you're not subscribed, please do. We'll see you tonight. All right. Peace out.